All right, we're here at Red Rock Calico Basin. We're gonna test out the DJI Neo with all of its new accessories. We did an unboxing video already. This is gonna be testing out the ND filter. It's gonna be testing out the extra bumpers and whatnot, the carry case, which is very convenient. I'm gonna fly around, so hopefully we won't crash. Last time we did this with the DJI Neo, or with the DJI Avata 2, we did crash. So here we go. All right, we're about to jump over into this big boulder to get set up, and that's where we're gonna fly the Avata from. All right, time to test out the Neo from this precarious boulder. We're gonna start with the ND filter test on the DJI Neo, so thank you Sunnylife for sending us everything. First things first, we're gonna do the no filter, CPL, the different versions. I'll put them on the screen of all of them that are in that kit, and then you'll see exactly how the footage looks depending on what filter we have, and then we'll probably just do some FPV ripping around, and we'll go from there. So next we're going to do the CPL filter, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go into manual mode for the exposure, just so I can control between the different ND filters what's going to work best. So they might differ, but I'm going to put the screen recording up so we can see exactly what my settings are, so you can see what results I'm getting from each ND filter. All right, we did all of the tests for the filters, and then now we're going to do a little bit of FPV flying. We found out that the ND32 was best for this scenario with how bright it was. Got the perfect shutter speed with the lowest ISO. So bang on, perfect, thank you. Let's do some FPV flying. All right, at this point we're done flying. We're gonna do some other tests. So we're not gonna test out the Insta360 Go 3 on the top of this thing in this location, because if it goes wrong, I'll lose everything. And we're gonna put the Insta360 Go 3 on the top of this, and we'll test that out. And then beyond that, the bike mount. So we're gonna do a couple of tests with the bike and put the controller on the bike while this is following and flying. Maybe it's my phone, maybe it's a controller, we'll see, but that's gonna be our next test. So there we go, we'll see where we go next. Back down we go, over this gap. Don't worry about that. Jeez. Okay, so our last two tests are going to be for the bike mount and for the Insta360 Go 3 mount. So we're going to do a little bike ride. We're going to have the controller connected to my bike through the bike mount. Once we get to the park, then we're going to do the Insta360 Go 3. So you're going to see a little bit of tracking footage, but essentially me with the controller mounted to the bike and then Insta360 stuff. So let's go. Okay, so we are now here at the park. We just did tracking. Obviously the tracking was just something, but the fact that we had this mounted to my handlebars, very secure, no problems there. So big thumbs up. Talk about more in the office, but at this point we'll say that was great. Our biggest test, I think, is DJI Neo with the Insta360 Go 3S. Technically on the top. We've got a grassy area behind us, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to utilize the grass. I didn't want to do this in the mountains because if it went sideways, that was not good for the drone or for the camera. So this is going to be our setup. Place it out in the soft grass. Without any further ado, let's go. And there you go. Did it work? Did it not? Okay, so brief conclusion, it works. It will stay on there. It just has a balancing issue, so nothing against the mount. It definitely does its thing, and we've got proof of it, but the motors aren't that strong on this, so it's struggling, but you could certainly do it. If there was a shot you wanted and you needed, and you could only get it with having better footage from the 360 Go 3, then yes, this will work. So give it a go at your own risk. And it might just be a balancing thing, moving it slightly up, slightly down to get it in the exact right spot. I tried flipping it around so the camera was backwards, as you can see, and back and forward, up and down, perfectly fine. As soon as I tried to do a tight turn, it just flipped over. Funny, but that's why I did it in the grass, just in case. So actually really surprised me. It did a lot better than I thought it could. So more about the Neo's capabilities than the mount, but definitely a option for you. So at this point, we've done testing out the ND filters, testing out the bumpers and the new blades, the bike mount, and of course, all this time we've been using the cases, and now finally the Go 3 mount. So we're going to go back to my office and we'll just wrap this up and we'll go from there. So catch you in the office. Bye. And welcome back to the studio. So we're going to do a little wrap up here of my experiences, a couple of notes, a couple of things to talk about, and we're going to start off with that. The front guard, the bumpers, the colored blades, it's all still intact from when we were up in the mountain. Nothing changed, nothing got hurt, no drama essentially. And this is going to be the configuration of my Neo moving forward. It's going to have the protectors, these blades on, and the front guard. So essentially what you see right there is how I'm going to keep my Neo and the stands. So I've got stand 1, stand 2, already had stand 3. This again is exactly how you're going to see the drones in my shots moving forward. Nice little touch to have them on display like this. So I really recommend it. They're really so cheap. If you didn't see on the end of the unboxing video, I kind of put it at the very end as a screenshot, but essentially the price for all of the products we looked at in the unboxing video and what we've used so far, about $100 for everything Neo related. Anything that was outside of that, which was like the stand for this, the controller stand, which I'm now using for goggles, and the bike mount for the controller, all that excluded $100, with them included about $130. So that's like what, 3 boxes, ND filters, new blades, all the extra stuff for the Neo. Very cheap. So great value for money, if you ask me. If you're going to spend $100 on accessories, typically you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, depending on the drone, right? But in this case, you can get a lot of value for your money, and then you can customize the exact boxes that you need. So you probably don't need 3 boxes for the Neo, but I've tested them out and they all are great, but you can get exactly what you need. So to the boxes. As predicted, this guy was one of my favorites. At this point in time, I have nothing in there. But as I was hiking, this was where the Neo was, and it was very easy to unzip, get it out, didn't need it, put it back in. If I'm just going on a little walk, drone in, battery in. Once I get more batteries at some point, more batteries in, but that's it. And again, hard to say, but the quality and the feel of this thing, of this specific box, and the color I like, and you can get different colors, but I really like the orange. I talked about a theme. There's the thing. Box 2, as you can see, I've added a little extra on here. Neo goes in here, controller goes in here, and filters and extra blades all live in here. So for this scenario, worked great. In my backpack, so B-roll, I went into, I put everything I needed in here, and I also took this one. And I took my camera case for the hike that you saw for the little adventure stuff. And this all modular sat nice and neat inside of my camera bag and protected everything. And, you know, if I was to fall or whatever, then this hard case or this semi-hard case is going to protect it. So I liked how I could just throw this inside my bag, had my camera bag in there, everything fit beautifully. Thumbs up. Hard case. Again, added a couple more DJI stickers on here. Currently empty, but this is what I'm going to be using to primarily store everything in. So as this Neo kit gets built out, I'm going to be able to add extra batteries and the power bank in there. Don't need this specific slot, so that can just be filled with whatever else I need. So there we go. So hard box, really good, nice, well made, and this is going to be the primary storage of this, or if it's going in the back of the car, it's going to go in here. Let's talk about the ND filters. So the test I did, which you just saw, I used primarily the ND32 because it was the best suited for that situation. I put it on, I got the perfect shutter speed at the lowest ISO to get the best exposed footage. I did put on, and I lost it, okay? So something to note, the way as far as I'm aware, all of these Neo ND filters are designed just like that. They are pretty limited to how they can attach to the camera itself. So I saw another company put like a sticky ring around, I think you do a magnet, just something along them lines. So this works, and I'm really gutted that I lost the ND32 because that was the one I was going to use the most. The other ones worked perfectly fine. The 64 worked a little bit too good, and I had to start increasing the ISO to about 200 to 300 to get a better exposure. Actually, the footage you saw was a little bit dark, and then with the filter on, I should have put the ISO a little bit higher. I thought I was overexposing, but I wasn't, so something to know. But that was on me. So these are great. I love the fact that I have them. Upset that I lost somehow, somewhere in my little adventure, the 32, but really good design. So my point being, don't blame Sunnylife here for the bad design of the Neo's camera, that it's very difficult to attach something to it very securely without then start messing around with the operation and the gimbal itself. I really like these are staying in the camera bag, so good job Sunnylife. The bike mount you saw, best I've had so far. That's staying on my bike permanently and very simple, very secure. You saw I had the controller attached fully, and you know the controller is actually pretty light, for controllers, but it's still a weight. And I also put my phone on there as well. I actually put the phone mount on there. I didn't end up doing my phone, but phone mount. So that's going to permanently live on there and is the most secure. You can, you know, the other ones I've had, plastic, cheap, they snap. This is made of metal, great. Last but not least, you just saw the footage of the Insta360 Go 3S on the back of the DJI Neo, and it works, yes. You have to put it into sport mode to get more power. If you're just hovering, the drone wants to keep dipping. You probably heard in the audio, it was like, it just kept dipping because again, the Neo isn't strong enough really for it. But when you put it into sport mode and you're just going in a direction, because you've got all your power at that point and you're 100% throttle and it's doing its thing, it does sustain flight that way. So maybe a little bit of tweaking with the balancing, that might work to get a better layout. I know certainly turning the camera, getting the mount where the camera's facing the other direction, so more of a horizontal view, might balance it out a little bit better and make it top heavy. You saw the footage where I did a turn and then I flipped. That's fine, but I was facing the camera backwards, so it was a little bit more back heavy. Again, it was out of balance. So DJI Neo is really not that powerful to be putting a whole bunch of stuff on there, but in this case, I think it did pretty good, and you could absolutely do it. Now, also to that point, I think the Insta360 Go 3S, the footage is a lot better. A lot's probably a little bit too dramatic, but I think there's a big difference in the footage you're getting out of it as opposed to the Neo. So you could absolutely add that in there and get your footage. So if it was a certain shot you needed and it had to be, as nice as you could get it, then 100% the Go 3S is going to be your go-to for that footage. But again, you're just working within the limitations of the weight on top of the DJI Neo. But very impressed, and really good little setup, and you can take it on and off very easily. Everything we've talked about so far is so cost effective that if it doesn't work out, fine. You haven't blown 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks on something and then you're stuck with it. It'll work as described, but with that specific mount, you just have to play around with it a little bit. I think that covers everything. So really happy for Sunnylife for sending me all these products. Very impressed. Quality is great. The price is great. I don't think I have an affiliate link, so it's just going to be their website specifically for the Neo, but we've done a Vada 2 video with the accessories, same thing. High quality, very impressed. Love the fact that they provide such good quality products for an affordable rate. And let's wrap up there. So I appreciate you guys. Have a great day and take care. Bye.